Hey guys, this is Magic the Papering coming at you with a Commander deck tech of Zirilan of the Claw. This is Mono Red Dragon Tribal, one of my favorite tribes to play. Alright, anyway, let's get into the deck tech. Zirilan of the Claw. Mono is a 3 and 2 red for 3/4 summon legend. He's actually a Viashino shaman. It doesn't say it on the card, but if you go on the Wizards of the Coast website and type him in on the card's database, he's been errata to a Viashino shaman. And his ability is you pay 1, 2 red and tap it. Search your library for a dragon card and put it into play as though it were just played. And shuffle your library afterwards. That creature is unaffected by summoning sickness, basically it gains haste. Remove the creature from the game at the end of any turn. At end of any turn. Alright, so on to the deck tech. First up we have Dragon Hatchling. 0/1 fire with fire breathing. Pay red, gets +1/+0 to end the turn. Next we have Generator Servant. Sacrifice that 2 to your mana pool. If it's spent to cast a creature spell, it gains haste until end of turn. And sometimes we will be casting our dragons, so we have Dragon Lord Servant, which is a 1/3 Goblin Shaman. Cause dragon spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. And then we have Dragon Speaker Shaman for 1 and 2 red. Dragon spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. We have Skittering Surveyor. It searches out our basic mountains. And then we have Sarkhan's Whelp. You'll see what it deals every time you activate the ability of a Sarkhan Planeswalker. It deals 1 damage to any target. You have Eric's Blade Wing. It basically, when you cast it along with its kicker cost, you get a 4/4 dragon token into play. You have Thunderbreak Regent. Great card to keep your dragons protected, because they'll have to get rid of this first before they get rid of anything else if they don't want to take the 3 damage. Territorial Hellkite, flying haste 6/5 for 4. Basically, most people when they play this card, they'll roll to the side the outcome of who's going to attack. And then Scourge of Valkus. Great card when it enters the battlefield. It deals damage equal to the amount of dragons you control. And then it also has fire breathing, where it gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. We have the Mandate Dragon. Enters the battlefield, deals 5 damage to target opponent unless it sacrifices the creature. Either they take damage or they get rid of something. Lightning Shrieker, I love this card because you play it with Zirilan, comes in with haste. At the end of your turn, it goes right back into the deck, so you keep doing it over and over. Hoarding Dragon. Search your library for an artifact, then exile it. And when it dies, you get the exile card to your hand. Great, and we do have a lot of artifacts in there. You have Lordbringer. Flying in haste 4/4. When it attacks, you can exert it. Deals 4 damage to non-dragon creature an opponent controls. Rampacious Dragon. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 treasure tokens. Basically, his ramp. Next up, you have Shockmaw Dragon. 4 and 2 red, 4/4. Whenever it deals combat damage, it deals 1 damage to each creature that player controls. You have Mana Charge Dragon. 4 and 2 red. Join Forces. Whenever it attacks or blocks, each player starting with me can pay any amount of mana. Mana Charge Dragon is +6/+0 until the end of turn, where X is the total amount of mana paid this wave. Volcanic Dragon is a 4/4 with haste for 6. Not too bad. Next up we have Ancient Hellkite, 4 and 3, with a total of 7 mana. 6/6 when flying. And when it attacks, you may pay red. Deals 1 damage to each target creature the player controls. Activate this only when it's attacking. Very good removal. Shivan Dragon, classic dragon card. Shivan Dragon gets +1/+0 in turn. I've actually won a couple of games because of Shivan Dragon. Flame Blast Dragon. Whenever a flame blast dragon attacks, you may pay X and if you do, it deals Dex damage to any target. Lifeless Dragon Queen, self-explanatory. Basically, every time you play a dragon, you get a token. Then it has Fire Breathe for 1 and 1 red. So it gives all your dragons Fire Breathe. Brewhorn Hellkite, pay 5 in red. Exile it. Each player exile it from graveyard. Each player discards his or her hand and draws 7 cards. Tyrant of Valkut. If it was cast for a surge cost, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player when it enters the battlefield. Water Dragon, 3 and 3 red for a 5/5 flyer. It has Fire Breathing from 1 and 1 red, and then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, I may have it deal that much damage to the target creature that player controls. Next up, we have Steel Hellkite. Pay 2, it gets Fire Breathing, and then I can also either pay X and destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost X or whose controller was dealt combat damage by Steel Hellkite that turn. I can only activate that ability once each turn. Next up, we have Force Stoker Dragon for 6 and 5/4 fire. 1/1 red, it deals 1 damage to target creature. That creature can't block this combat. I can only activate it if it is attacking. Hellkite Charger, Flying Haste. When it attacks, I may pay 5 and 2 red. If I do, I tap all attacking creatures, and there's an additional combat phase. Ryusei the Falling Star. When it dies, it deals 5 damage to each creature without flying. Balefire Dragon. When the group Death Dragon is in the deck, whenever it attacks, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to each creature that player controls. Basically board wipe them. Next up, we have Drakuseth Maw Flames. Whenever it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damages of up to 2 other targets. And we have Dragon Mage. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. Next we have Hellkite Igniter. Flying Haste. 1 and 1 red, it gets +6/+0 where until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts I control. We have Tyrant's Familiar for 5/5 for 7 Flying Haste. As long as I control my commander, it gets +2/+2 and has whenever it attacks, it deals 7 damage to target creature defending player controls. Bogardan Hellkite. 6/2 red 5/5 flash flying. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage divided as I choose among any number of creatures and or players. Yupara Hellkite. My favorite dragon in the deck. 6/2 red for a 6/6 flyer. Whenever a dragon I control attacks, create a 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying. That's it for the creatures. Now on to the planeswalkers. Sarkhan the Fireblood. You make for his +1, his first +1 ability, I can discard a card and draw a card. Second +1, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells. And then his -7. Create 4/5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. Next we have Sarkhan the Masterless. Its static ability is whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. And then it's +1 until end of turn. Each planeswalker I control becomes a 4 for red dragon creature and gains flying. And then -3, I can create a 4/4 dragon token with flying. Next we have Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker, +1. Ability is until end of turn, Sarkhan the Dragon Speaker becomes a legendary 4/4 dragon creature token with flying, indestructible, and haste. It's -3, deals 4 damage to the target creature. -6, I get an emblem. At the end of my draw step, I may draw 2 additional cards, and at the beginning of my end step, discard my hand. And Sarkin Dragon Soul. It's +2. It deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature your opponent controls. It has -3, deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. -9, I can search out any number of dragons cards and put them onto the battlefield and shuffle my library. Teutonic Reformation. Each land card in my hands has cycling. Cycling red. Pay 2, and then I can cycle it for red. And then I can cycle this card itself for 2. Dragon Tempest, self-explanatory in the dragon deck. Deals your dragons haste and it deals damage to the amount of dragons you have on the field to your opponent whenever a dragon type creature enters the field. Crucible of Fire. Dragon pumps up your dragons. Dragon creatures you control get +3/+3. Experimental Frenzy. This is a new card from Ravnica. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play the top card of your library. You may play cards from. You can't play cards from your hand. Pay 3 in the red, and you can destroy it. This card has actually won me games by having this card in the deck. It's very good. Because in red we exhaust all of our cards a lot. So this is a way to help you get your hand back. Magma Mystic Chasm. 1/1 red creatures without flying can't block this turn. Dragon Storm. Search your library for a dragon permanent card and put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Power Blast is an interrupt. 1 red, counter target spell if it's blue, or destroy target permanent if it is blue. Spit Flame. 2 in the red, deals 4 damage to target creature, and then when the dragon enters the battlefield, under my control I may pay a red, and if I do, return it from my graveyard to my hand. Sarkin's Triumph. Search my library for a dragon creature card, reveal it, put it into my hand, and shuffle my library. Sarkin's Rage. Deals 5 damage to target creature or player. If you control no dragons, Sarkin's Rage deals 2 damage to you. Now for those artifacts. We have Soul Ring. Everybody know what that does. We have Swiftfoot Boots. Gives my commander Hexproof and Haste. Star Compass. Is ramp. It turns basically you can tap for red because all I play is red in this deck. Thought Vessel, no maximum hand size, and it adds 1 to my mana pool. Sword of Vengeance. All gives any equipped creature gets +2/+0, has first strike, vigilance, trample, and haste. Equipped with 3. Manalith, another mana rock. Dragon Sword, mana rock, and draw power. Is I can remove the gold counter. Because when a dragon enters the battlefield, you get a gold counter. Now I can remove the gold counter, tap and draw a card. Next we have Commander Spear. Also, I can add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool, and I can also sack it to draw a card. Pristine Talisman. I can tap it to add 1 to my mana pool, and I gain 1 life. Unstable Obelisk. More ramp. Another mana rock, and then I can also pay 7 to tap it and destroy target permanent. Since we don't have a lot of negates, we need to have ways to get rid of stuff. Next we have Herd and Archives. I can add 2, and then I can sacrifice 2 Chartube cards. Next we have last but not least, we have Dreamstone Hedron. Add 3, and I can also pay 3 to tap it and sacrifice it to draw 3 cards. And then for the mana base is, I believe, 37, 38 mountains. That's all you really need in this deck because it's 1 color. Thanks, and remember to like and subscribe for more videos. Peace out.